Hi, my name's David Daines. I've been a long-term collector of Mithril Miniatures, probably since their first inception back in 1987-88 or thereabouts. I first came across Mithril when I was working in Portsmouth, down the south coast of England, and happened to go into a little games shop there where they're selling figurines and things like that, and I noticed on a revolving rack some blister packs with some nice grey primed figures in there. I didn't know at the time there were anything to do with Tolkien's work, but I looked over there. I had a funny feeling they looked Tolkienish, and I walked over there, and actually there they were. Very early releases in the range. Probably started from that point on collecting Mithril. Have done so right up till the present day. I did have a little gap a few years ago for other interests in the hobby world, but I'd always been interested in Tolkien and Lord of the Rings related stuff. It's been a long-term interest and passion ever since as a child. I was given the Hobbit to read by my father, and then read Lord of the Rings, which I tend to probably read once or twice every couple of years. It's just one of those books you can always go back to. The story, you know what happens, but it's always a pleasure to read. Very few other figurines I actually deal with in terms of Lord of the Rings. I've always gone back to Mithril, or stuck with Mithril, and what I've always liked about the range is the diversity of different types of figures, from the ordinary townsfolk through to those named characters and personalities, whether they be in armour or whether they're just sort of in relaxed pose. And that's, as I say, the draw with Mithril. And also I find that you don't actually have to use the figures for the purpose or the character they're intended to. There's always that range of flexibility there. Dealing with Mithril itself, I say ever since, always used to buy the figures in shops, but now I deal with Mithril direct. Always have found the company has always been very good to deal with. People in the dispatch department always answer requests and always let you know when your figures or your product purchases are on the way. And if there's ever been any queries or very few problems, has always been resolved and answered very quickly. So as a company, it's a small business, and I think all the staff there really do give a good sort of customer focused service on what the customer needs. So as a company, I have great pleasure dealing with them over the years.